This is your Diamond Insight of Zambia's human rights crisis, the need for reform. The 2023 Human Rights Practices Report on Zambia, released by the U.S. Department of State, paints a troubling picture of human rights in the country. The report highlights ongoing problems within law enforcement, revealing a culture of impunity and disregard for human rights. While there has been a slight decline in extrajudicial killings, serious violations such as police brutality, torture, unlawful killings and restrictions of freedom of expression and assembly continue to be major issues. But while the number of extrajudicial killings dropped from 26 in 2022 to just 3 in 2023, the reduction should not overshadow the persistence of other abuses. Torture is common, with police reportedly torturing suspects in detention, sometimes leading to death. The case of Captain Piri, who allegedly died from torture while in police custody, and the death of Maxwell Mwila, who was tortured by police in Lusaka, demonstrates that extrajudicial killings are not the only form of police violence. The incidents highlight the entrenched disregard for human rights within Zambia's law enforcement system. If this violence is to be stopped, meaningful reforms are needed to hold officers accountable and ensure the rule of law applies to everyone, regardless of position. The report further highlights the government's continued crackdown on civil society and political opposition, particularly regarding freedom of expression and assembly. Many civil society organizations, opposition groupings, activists and journalists face targeting for organizing peaceful protests or expressing dissenting views. Imposing excessive bail conditions or relocating suspects to distant areas for remand is also one area of concern, as such actions undermine justice. The challenges highlighted in the Human Rights 2023 report by the United States government are not new to Zambia, but they remain urgent as they hinder democratic engagement and violate rights guaranteed by Zambia's constitution. Without reform, the country risks continuing into a cycle of violence, impunity and repression, which will have lasting consequences for the rule of law and democracy. The time for action indeed is now.